We begin tonight with a tragic update on the months-long search for a missing Gresham woman. Thank you for joining us. I'm Blair Best. Police have now identified the woman whose remains were found in February, almost 2 months after her family reported her missing. Police say she was 22-year-old Kristen Smith. Let's bring in Thomas Schultz. And Thomas, you talked with those who lived near where she was found.
Yeah, Blair, that's right. She was found in southeast Portland, and people I spoke with today say it was a shock to learn human remains were found near their homes. But many say there are problems in the Pleasant Valley neighborhood that need to be addressed.
I tell most people that we live in the nicest part of the neighborhood. So yeah, it's first for here.
Lucas Gonzalez has lived in this quiet southeast Portland neighborhood for his whole life. He says in February he was driving home when he noticed deputy cars at the intersection of Southeast Deerdorf Road and Southeast Flavel Street. Later, he learned Kristen Smith's remains were found in a field 2 months after she was reported missing. He says that land is owned by the David Douglas School District.
Unfortunate. I think that's really all I have to say about it. It's unfortunate.
The school district did not respond to our request for comment. Portland police are conducting a death investigation to learn how the Gresham woman died. They have not said if Smith's death is suspicious. Gonzalez and other neighbors say this incident makes them more concerned about the state of their neighborhood. They say people have been squatting in fields owned by the school district for years.
Probably late 2019, early 2020, it started to have a bad squatting problem.
Now, they're concerned for their own safety.
We're living kind of diminished and more frightened lives.
Steve Peroy says he's noticed more debris in fields near his home.
I love this neighborhood. I bought this house with the intent of retiring here and dying here. You know, I'm afraid of the forest fires that could happen if people are camping and starting fires that could take out pretty much everything I've worked for all my life.
Peroy says something needs to be done to help people find shelter.
Rents are skyrocketing in this area. Houses are skyrocketing in this area. Some things should be more affordable. Housing's one of them.
Peroy says he hopes more money is devoted to help people find housing. Now, I asked Peroy if he was surprised something like this happened in his neighborhood. He said he was, even though at this point, he probably shouldn't be. Blair?
Thomas, thank you. Well, right now, deputies in Washington County are looking for the victim of a road rage fight. They say a man blocked an intersection, punched someone several times in the face, and threatened to shoot him. Now, this happened last night at Farmington and River Road. A witness got the suspect's license plate, and deputies arrested 21-year-old Carlos Garcia. But they haven't been able to find the person who was attacked. They say the victim was driving a dark gray SUV with Oregon plates. New tonight, President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy have a few more days than initially expected to make a deal on the debt ceiling before the U.S. runs out of money. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen now says the new deadline is June 5th. It was originally June 1st, but the White House and House Republican negotiators still haven't reached a deal after negotiating for weeks. Without a deal, the U.S. could face a default, which could be catastrophic for the economy. Well, the Portland Rose Festival is officially underway. City Fair continues tonight in downtown Portland, and here's a live look from our Rose City Skycam. It's a perfect day to enjoy the fair. It's dry and not too hot out there. Well, last night, thousands of people gathered to watch fireworks at the end of the kickoff night of the fair. But if you missed them, there's still a lot of fun to enjoy over the next few weeks. Rides, games, there's shows, and of course, lots and lots of food. The fair runs through June 11th at Waterfront Park. It's $15 for general admission at the gate, or $12 if you want to buy your tickets in advance online. And kids under the age of 6 are free. And if you're wondering how much you can expect to spend at the fair, we have a cost breakdown for you right now on KGW.com. We took a look at how much you'll pay for parking, ride tickets, and food and drink at the festival. Check it out before you go. And City Fair is just the start of the weeks of fun for the Rose Festival. The Starlight Parade is next weekend with drag queen Poison Waters as the Grand Marshal. That starts at 8 next Saturday in downtown Portland. Then check out the Fred Meyer Jr. Parade in the Hollywood District on June 7th to see kids perform from the city. And the Grand Floral Parade is June 10th in Northeast Portland. And Fleet Week starts June 7th, where you can check out lots of military ships coming into town. And the Dragon Boat races are on June 10th and 11th. Or if you want to get another fair experience, the Multnomah County Fair is also happening now at Oaks Park. They've got all the deep fried fair food and rides that you could want, but also performances, arts and crafts displays, animals, and baked goods.
Start in the food section because it smells awesome. We got some great cakes this year. We get to, all the judges get to taste this stuff this year, and cookies and candy, and we got pickles. We got everything imaginable.
Well, the fair goes all weekend. Admission is free, but parking is $5. So there is a lot going on as summer approaches. So let's bring in meteorologist Joe Ranieri. And Joe, what can people expect for the weather in the coming days?
Great weather for fried eating kind of food, whether it's your elephant ears, your fried, whatever the case may be. It seems like there's anything you can fry under the sun at those fairs. But yeah, a lot of people are going to be enjoying the Oregon coast here the next couple of days. And we saw, again, very warm temperatures yesterday afternoon. Well, today a little bit cooler out in the coast. We're looking at temperatures in the low 60s over in Lincoln City. A lot of people have been flying some kites out there. Winds are relatively calm, but there's never a bad day if you're spending it at the Oregon coast, right? And here locally, we're looking at a temperature of 75 degrees, clear skies out there. We saw a little bit of some cloud cover earlier today, but a lot of those clouds have kind of pushed off and melted away. Now really the activity that we're picking up is throughout the central and eastern side of the state. Got that counterclockwise rotation. Again, we got some unstable air throughout the high desert, bringing in more thunderstorms here the rest of your Saturday night and a little bit into the later part of the evening. I think things will start to calm down heading into tomorrow, and it's basically going to be seeing very pleasant conditions across the area. Daytime highs today were right around the low to mid 70s, just about 10 degrees cooler from where we were this time yesterday, about 24 hours ago. And coming up with my detailed forecast, I'll talk more about the Memorial Day weekend forecast and what we can expect to see as we get ready to put May in the rearview mirror. Right back to you.
All right, Joe, looking forward to that. Well, we're getting our first look at possible designs for a new interstate bridge. The team calls these visualizations. They're not the final concepts, but there are 6 models to look at, and then 2 cable bridges and a lift span option. Now that one will only be considered if height requirements can't be worked out with the Coast Guard. Finally, there is a double-decker design with light rail, cyclists, and walkers below the roadway. There are public meetings coming up in both Portland and Vancouver to discuss the options. The man who allegedly set a huge fire at an apartment building in Southwest Portland has pleaded not guilty. 30-year-old Garrett Repp is accused of starting the 4-alarm fire that burned at the May Apartments. We talked to one tenant who said she lived below him. She says for months, Repp had been terrorizing her and her neighbors by pulling the fire alarm. KGW found through public records that the fire alarm was pulled at least 16 times since February. The most recent was 2 days before the fire at the May Apartments. Now, we also learned that Repp was arrested last month at another apartment building where he was accused of barricading himself inside his ex-girlfriend's home. The judge ordered that Repp be held without bail. Well, new sightings have been reported of a black bear roaming around Forest Park and into some neighborhoods in Northwest Portland. Catherine Cook followed up to find out why this time of year seems to bring such close encounters.
We're back to Forest Park, which is apparently bear country now.
I can't even believe this. I can't even believe this.
A KGW viewer took this video of the now infamous black bear crossing Northwest 53rd Drive a couple weeks ago. It incited both dread,
oh my gosh,
and delight.
It's like a Sasquatch sighting. See him up there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Since then, the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife tells us they've taken 6 reports of black bear sightings in and around Forest Park. That includes this one, the night of May 18th. Security images show a black bear roaming around the garbage cans outside this home on Skyline Boulevard near Saltzman Road. That's near the Fire Lane 5 trailhead.
It's hard to know where it came from, but what brings it to town is certainly food.
Wildlife biologist Ben Cate says this is the time of year, statewide, for most bear conflicts.
It's sort of this period in between when bears wake up from hibernation And prior to a lot of the natural food sources on the landscape being available, the berries and fruiting things that bears are eating over the summer.
Kate says this bear has also hit a couple beehives along Skyline. He says if you live near forested areas, ditch the beehives and bird feeders, lock your garbage cans, and only take them out on trash days, since it appears that's all the bears are after.
Every report that we've received so far, the bear has reacted as we hope it would to people, and that it just ran the other direction when it actually encountered a person.
That includes Kristen Shaw.
Made it a very memorable run.
She, too, spotted the black bear last Thursday while running on Leif Erikson Trail.
I put my arms out and wide. I said, "Bear, get away!" And he heard me, and he didn't want anything to do with the situation either. I think we reacted similarly to each other.
Fish and Wildlife officials posted these signs around Forest Park to warn trail users of bear sightings. Chris Steinbeck and his kids know what to do.
We can make ourselves big, because then they'll be scared of us.
And never go towards the cubs.
As for what else to avoid,
don't run away. Running away from a predator can potentially trigger that instinct to chase prey.
And none of us,
Bro, a black bear in Forest Park.
want that.
I can't even believe